Welcome to Chump Change, everybody, the post show where we talk about the truth behind the lies. And once again, I'm joined by John, Kyle, Gus, and Matt. Welcome back, everybody.
If you want to make this the chump jump, you're more than welcome to.
Ooh, that's a good one, too. There was a lot. For a while, it was just called Chump. I think it was like called Chump, and in parentheses it said post show. I was like, that can't stay. I'm like, come on now, guys. But yes, there were some stories that we didn't get to hear during the show that I absolutely want to hear now. So let's start things off, just because we talked about it so much. So Matt, we got the gist of it, but the train story, almost getting hit by a train twice. So what is the actual story with that? A highway, you said?
Yeah, it was like a highway. There's a lot of highways in South Carolina that are basically just like a 2-lane road and just trees all over the place. There's a train track that goes through there, and I just assumed, I think it's probably never been used for like the last, I don't know, 50 years or some shit. And it definitely has. I drove right by it, like without thinking, and then I heard the train, like it shook my car with how close it was.
Oh man.
Did the trees create a blind spot for you? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was. The trees were right up on like the road, so I couldn't look left and see the train or anything like that.
You said this is the same train track that you almost got hit twice. So you went over it once, almost got hit by a train, and did not learn your lesson.
Well, I figured, what were the odds?
Can't possibly happen again.
What were the odds of it happening again? Well, because at that point, I'd driven that road like a lot, because I had to drive it to go down to our beach house, and my mom wanted to do that a ton after my grandparents like passed away. So I've been going there over and over for weekends and weekends. I was like, there's no way this is going to happen. It hadn't happened any other time. I felt like an idiot the first time I stopped. And yeah, not only was it like after that first time, but it was like that weekend. like I drove back the opposite way. And it almost hit me.
The mentality of lightning never strikes twice in the same place is thrown out the window when you stand on a building with a lightning rod twice. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I wasn't standing. I was going 55. It's fine.
Follow-up question. After in the same weekend, almost getting hit twice, did you show caution after that?
I slowed down to 45. Yeah.
So the train will catch you now.
Yeah. It's like, oh, barely got by that last time.
There was there was a few times after that where I stopped and like looked, and then I quit doing that after one guy passed me when I did that, and I was like, all right, well, if that's gonna happen,
you don't want to look like a loser waiting for trains to go by.
Well, John, think about it. If I went, the train would have hit me. Would have hit the guy behind me.
Gus, let's move over to Gus about the stripper. So try to convince a male stripper to come back with you for a scavenger hunt. So what's the story here? What's the truth?
It was like a orientation week team building thing. My first week in college. Was it my first week? It was one of the, I think it was the first week in college. Like you get to know a bunch of people, and there were a bunch of items on the list, and the two items worth the most points were to get a tattoo and have a receipt for it. And then the other one was to go to a male strip club and bring a male stripper back. And so I mean, yeah. So it's like one of the older students was like pointing at me. He's like, "You come with me. We're gonna go do this." I was like, "All right."
But you didn't get it.
Did we get him? We did. Yeah, we did actually.
So did you pay him?
No, we just like, you want to come? And he was like, sure. I mean, the first guy we were talking to was like strangely really aggressive. Looking back now, he was probably on something. But then like another one, I think, took pity on us because he saw how weird and psychotic the other guy was being, and he was like, all right, sure, yeah. He's just like, he didn't get in the car with us. We told him where to go, and he followed us.
Do you recall anything even remotely close to whatever pitch you gave him?
It was the other guy, the older guy who did all the talking. I was from a small town. I was just like shell shocked, you know? It's like my first week being away from the small town in South Texas. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing here.
It's just like, yeah, that's so, I guess a stripper being like, hey, here's the situation. Can you come back and help us get some points? Do you remember if he came back, did he just go, I'm a stripper, and they went, all right, points are issued, and then let him go, or like did he hang around?
Did he have to prove it?
Yeah, like, go through your routine. We don't believe you.
Let's see that technique. I don't know if I believe this.
Let's see that dick sweat.
Well, yeah, he was able to take off, and I don't remember if he took. I think he took off. I don't think he stuck around.
Take off what?
Hey,
goddamn. So Kyle, you weren't that far off, man, when you were like telling your story.
college
Telling your lie about
scavenger hunt.
Not the scavenger.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of, because we've done those scavenger hunts in college before, and one of them was something you bring to a party. So I was like, yeah, stripper works. Yeah.
Something you bring to a party.
Hey, if it's a bachelor party, just saying.
Yeah.
I got my degree from a private religious university. They didn't have us go find strippers.
Not the party we went to.
My roommate ended up getting the tattoo for the points in that scavenger hunt.
Damn.
Did you guys win?
We did. He got a single black dot.
Okay, that counted.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It costs like $20
You got a
or
freckle.
something.
You got a freckle.
Right. Exactly.
You got a freckle, a new freckle.
A perma freckle.
Kyle.
Yeah.
So you would burn down your house to kill a cockroach.
Yeah. This stems from when Miles and I were roommates at one apartment complex back in college. This one, like, I guess they didn't pay for pest control to come by, or maybe we just had the worst neighbors underneath us because we were on the 3rd floor. Usually you don't get bugs on the 3rd floor, let alone cockroaches. Right. They were in our apartment every day. It was awful. Like, you opened up the coffee, if you didn't pull out the coffee grounds, there was one in there. There was one that was on Miles's toothbrush. I remember trying to sleep and I heard some scratching or something, but when you're in college, you're like, oh, that's just that's the neighbors or a party or whatever, right? And then I realized one night, because I heard it, and then I turned on my light and saw a cockroach crawling on the wall, and I'm like, the scratches I've been hearing are just the cockroaches crawling. So I think it was I think I realized it one day. I seriously considered because we didn't have any raid, and this cockroach had been bothering me, and I was just like, how am I going to kill it? And the thought crossed my mind. It's well, you could get the aerosol can and try to burn it. And I'm just like, that's stupid. But the fact that it crossed my mind, I was just I considered it for more than a minute. You know what I'm saying? I'm just I shouldn't do that. Well, I mean, if I don't get too close to the wall and just get it, so that's when I knew, I would burn down a house to kill this thing.
You still have that response nowadays. You see a cockroach, you're still
I don't have any patience for it. Yeah.
I give, if a cockroach comes into my house, I give it all the room at once, and I let it just go on its business, because I'm not going to deal with it. And I will call my apartment complex later and tell them we need to have a talk.
Yeah,
it has to die. There's no option.
Yeah,
that's
cockroaches for me though. Cockroaches for me, they're big enough. The little bugs you can squish and it's nothing, but the big ones, they're so big enough. It's too visceral and too beefy to crush.
I know what you're saying.
But I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of meat to it, and
you
can do it.
Where because where I moved from, we didn't have. I never saw cockroaches that were. I saw some that were little. When I moved to Austin, the big ones are just around, just chilling on the street and stuff. We left a play. We went to go see Hamilton or something, me and Kat, and as we left the theater in Austin, it looked like the ground was moving. There were so many just out and Kat and I we just looked at it and we're just no, and we went back inside and found another way to leave the building.
It's Temple of Doom.
Yeah, it was terrifying. So and then I just want to elaborate a little more because we have just a little time left. But Gus, so the pee story.
Oh yeah.
How long were you in the pee pants?
That class was just after lunch, and then I had to do all my afternoon classes like that. So it was a couple of hours. It was, I don't remember exactly. It was probably 2.5, 3 hours, something like that.
Did you get up from your chair after having the accident?
No, I ended up sitting there, and because I finished my test pretty quick, and then when the person next to me finished their test, I was like, "Hey, can you take this up to the teacher's desk for me?" And turn it in. And he did
we happened to finish at the same time.
Yeah, how weird. And then I just waited for the class to end, and like everyone left. The teacher was distracted, and then I was like, all right, this is my time, and I just like sat up and tied the jacket real fast.
Woof.
So you didn't clean? Did you like quickly wipe it down, or did you just like skedaddle?
As much as I could, but I mean,
Yeah.
it was a mess.
I think I would have moved. I think I would have been
like
How-
cities?
yeah, like different town. Yeah.
It was terrible.
I can't smell, but I've been told urine has a smell. No one noticed.
It wasn't
I've
that
been
bad.
told.
The reason I drank a bunch of water, so it was extremely watered down. So it wasn't, which is what could led to the whole problem. So it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, you wouldn't know this, John, but like the dehydrated pee, the yellow pee, that's got more of a funk to it.
Oh.
Yeah, and
when it's watery, it's pretty difficult to notice.
Just water, as far as anyone knows. Maybe people thought he spilled water in the back because he was sitting.
Maybe. I sat in it.
If it was raining that day, you were fine. Like, I sat in a puddle or something like that.
It never rained there. It never rained there, so that was not a possibility.
Well, there it is,
sat in a
people. The
puddle.
true stories behind the lies of this episode. Thanks again to all of our guests for joining us, and thank you for being a first member and being able to watch this show. So we only have, I think, 2 more episodes left this season. We got some special guests coming up, and it's going to be a real blast. So you can play along, obviously, if you're a first member. Make sure to tune in for that and watch more Chump Change after the fact. Thanks again, everybody, and
Thank you.
we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks.
Goodbye.